Clap it up. Clap up for what we just saw on Paramount Plus, for that headlining fight that we saw. And you know what? And I hope that all of MMA media that cried so much for poor Arman Tsarukyan finally got it through their thin skulls as to why that matchup happened and Arman was skipped over for this bullshit interim belt. Because those MMA media members cried so much, oh my God, poor Arman, he was skipped over, he was told he was getting the next touchdown. I can't believe this, the injustice, how is this happening? We just saw why. Because that fight between Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje fucking ruled. It was awesome. And to start off the Paramount Plus card like that sets a precedent. It's a poor man's example, a very bad example, and it's a poor man's one at that, but it reminded me a little bit of the Ultimate Fighter, the first Ultimate Fighter on Spike, where you set a precedent. Now, is every card going to be that? No, but that fight was amazing, and an Arman Tsarukyan fight probably wouldn't have been. It probably would have been one-way traffic if we're being real. But a basic example of why Arman Tsarukyan was skipped over was they show him in the crowd post-fight, and he has no idea what to do. Is the camera still looking at me? What do I do? Is it still looking at me? Okay. It's still looking at me? Yeah? He can't sell a fight. And that's why it blows my mind that MMA media was crying so much for this guy. The unfortunate thing about the title fight, or the interim title fight, is the fact that everybody knows that if Ilya were to just come down, boom, he gets the belt back. But it doesn't take away from the card that we witnessed, which was awesome. Rare W by me. If you watch my pre-fight show, which I'll put up there if you want to just go back and watch it, 9-2 for me. So I'm starting the year off correct, but and a lot of underdog wins too. But I'll start off with a fight that didn't happen. Alex Hernandez versus Michael Johnson was yanked off the card hours before it was to begin for illegal betting, or for weird betting purposes. Unfortunately, we did not get Joe Rogan saying, oh, Michael Johnson looks fast tonight. He looks good. He looks sharp. Oh, my God, the hand speed. And only to see Michael Johnson either get clipped or submitted 45 seconds later. That was unfortunate. But, first fight of the night, Ty Miller puts it on Adam Fugit. Awesome. Josh Holkett took Denzel Freeman to the woodshed and then proceeded to undo any good thing he has ever done, probably in his entire life, by having the cringiest post-fight octagon interview where, it was damn close to Ben Rothwell maniacally laughing. That's how cringe it was. I was just begging Paramount Plus to make it stop. Horrible. But the first real upset of the night was Alex Perez against Charles Johnson. And it kind of went as I expected. Like, Alex Perez proved that, just because he's lost a few fights in a row, you got to look at the level of competition who he's losing to. Charles Johnson wasn't ready for that. And Alex Perez looked really, really, really good in this one, finishing him in round one in epic fashion and really putting his name probably back into contendership. I mean, you're always kind of a contender at 125. I feel like that division kind of is fluid with prospects and contenders, but he reminded everybody who the hell he is. The next fight, another underdog win by me, was Nikita Krylov versus Modestas Bukauskas. If you bet Modestas Bukauskas, you just showed me that you've never before bet Modestas Bukauskas, because that's exactly what we see from Modestas Bukauskas. He goes out, he wins titles in Cage Warriors, he comes over here, and he just forgets how to fight. And he proceeds to just be a real disappointment. Looks the part. Completely looks the part. But Nikita Krylov, who I was surprised was an underdog in this one, and I said it in my pre-fight, he was going to be one of my locks of the night. He was my lock of the night. So much so that I was ready to run to Wawa because I was like, this is going to be one-way traffic, but I stayed and watched it. Luckily, he finished it, so I was able to run to Wawa anyway. Not the point. Nikita Krylov was on a little bit of a losing streak there, but he gets back in the win column, and it went about as well as I planned it, or I expected it, I should say. And the next fight was the co-prelim main event, if you will. Gaethje going up against Andre Puliev. Didn't go as probably like everyone expected. I think everybody expected Gaethje to run through Puliev it'd be one-way traffic, because that's pretty much what he's done his entire UFC run-up into this point, and it looked like that early on. You know, he immediately got Puliev's attention. I think he dropped him with his first shot. Credit to Puliev, though. Like, he was able to weather that storm, and he got some good shots off, and even though he lost this fight, I think he comes out a little bit of a winner in this one because of the fact that he just kind of survived. But not only did he survive, he looked good doing it. You know, I mean, Gaethje, I don't think necessarily looked tired at any point. At one point, the broadcast was saying, "Oh, he looks tired." I didn't think so, because I didn't think he rushed a finish early on. It just wasn't what we all expected, which was a first-round knockout. I mean, this was a minus 1,000 favorite on the card. But Puliev, I thought, looked really good for losing this fight. But still, Gaethje ends up winning it. Okay, we move on to Umar Nurmagomedov against Deiveson Figueiredo. And it was fine. I mean, like, that's all this fight was. It was kind of just fine. It went like I expected. Umar Nurmagomedov doing Umar Nurmagomedov things, mixing in the striking, the grappling, and ultimately getting a decision victory that you immediately kind of just forget happened. I mean, it's a shame, because Deiveson Figueiredo at one point was the best in the world at 125. But he was the best in the world at 125 because he was the hardest hitter at 125. And then he moves up to 135. He's no longer the hardest hitter. Still, he amazingly missed weight for this fight by 2 pounds, but he's just never going to be a true title contender at 135. And combine that with the fact that he is old, it's just like you wonder how many more fights he has left, because this was really the last go for him to get into a title picture. And Umar ends up taking it. I think Umar is probably the 3rd best in the division. I mean, I still think Merab is number 1, Petr Yan number 2, Umar is probably number 3, and then, but Umar didn't exactly do enough for me to push him to a title shot, even though that's clearly what he wants. He said all the right ththings, I guess, in the post-fight, like, it wasn't my best fight, but he also blamed Deiveson Figueiredo a lot for just wanting to not fight. I don't believe that happened, but Umar Nurmagomedov is really good. He proved it again. He ends up getting the decision victory, but it wasn't one that you'll remember. And then we kick off the main card of the night. Gene Silva against Arnold Allen. I joked because I was doing a TikTok live, and I was live on my YouTube channel, this one right here, during this main card, and I joked during the main event that if you were to watch Gene Silva walk out and you were to watch Paddy Pimblett walk out, it's complete opposites. You know, Paddy Pimblett's dancing and vibing, and Gene Silva is staring daggers through his girlfriend. It was intense. I had Gene Silva winning this one by knockout. That's how I thought it was going to go. I thought Gene Silva was going to rebound. He was going to be refocused. And I mentioned how Arnold Allen was really, really good. And I thought Arnold Allen looked really, really good in round 1. I thought he looked really good. And I thought it would be a problem for Gene Silva. I thought Gene Silva would kind of go to a game plan of, I'm going to just try to clip you at all costs. Now I'm just going to knock you out. I'm gonna get that knockout at all costs, and it was going to hinder him. It didn't happen. Like, he rebounded in round 2 and 3 and looked good doing it. So credit to Gene Silva. I thought Arnold Allen fought really well. Like, he didn't look bad in this fight. And it really, I thought, could have gone either way. I was shocked at one point when they read the judges' scorecard and there was a 30-27 in there, because I thought Arnold Allen clearly won round 1. But Gene Silva wins this one, doesn't get the knockout, but he won, and that's the most important thing. He wasn't barking like a dog necessarily, but hey, it was an intense fight. I mean, a really good way to kick off the main card. And at that point, that was the first really, really good decision win. Or really, really good decision fight. Up until this point, we had a lot of knockouts, but that was the first fight where it's like, this goes to the decision, but it was an awesome fight. Next fight was the first fight I had personally gotten wrong on this card. I was on a tear. Rose Namajunas versus Natalia Silva. I thought it could have went either way, and the first round definitely played out like I thought, which was these two are so evenly matched up. Their footwork is incredible. It's going to stay on the feet. I don't know who it goes to, and I thought after round 1 it was definitely I don't really know who this goes to, but I had it for Rose. I was a little surprised at the judges' scorecards, I'll be honest. I thought Rose won the fight. Now, I had money on Rose, but I still thought Rose won the fight. I just want to put that out there, okay? But I also didn't think necessarily it was a robbery. I didn't think that she got hosed. I thought she did enough in round 2. Clearly, the judges disagreed. I don't think in the end it's really going to matter, because I think either woman is going to get mauled by Valentina, but I thought Rose did enough to win this fight. But again, it was too close, and it was a very, very close fight. They were very evenly matched. And I thought Rose got tired in the third round, which is kind of telling because she trains at elevation. I didn't see that happening, but she definitely slowed down, and I think ultimately that probably cost her the fight. Next fight, I also got wrong. I thought Derek Lewis was going to knock out WCA, Waldo Cortez Acosta. Didn't happen. Weird fight for Derek Lewis. He goes out there and he clearly was looking to counter strike in the first round because he knew that WCA had the hand speed. He wasn't getting it. He was getting clipped with the jab too much, and then he just started swinging from his hip. And then I don't even know what happened. I don't know if he slipped. I don't know if he got hit with the jab, but he went down and just accepted the position. And then he never got up. Like, it was a weird Derek Lewis fight. And at the end of it, I thought, he's washed. Like, he's completely washed. And it's sad. He'll always be a guy that the UFC's never going to cut Derek Lewis because he'll always be a guy that will attract the casual fan because he's got that personality and he's a fan favorite for a reason. But this just wasn't it. And the UFC can't be happier about this outcome because now they have a new contender at heavyweight, a very shallow division for them. Where up until this point it was Tom and kind of everybody else, let's be real. Even with the Cyril Gane fight, how it was going, even with John Jones possibly out there, it's Tom and everybody else. And now they at least have another contender to throw in there, a young up-and-coming guy. Because to me, the number one contender, if you take out Cyril Gane, but other than that, the number one contender is probably Volkov. And Volkov's a journeyman. And it's not like journeymen haven't won the title before. I mean, we've seen it with Michael Bisping. We saw it with Jan Blachowicz. But he's not going to... There's levels to the heavyweight division, and it's a shallow one at that. Now the UFC has an ability to match up Waldo Cortez Acosta. He called out Curtis Blades. I like that matchup. I'd be interested to see it. But I was a little surprised he didn't call out like somebody bigger, like AKA like a title shot, because he is on a tear. He did fight 5 times last year, an insane amount. But he also didn't seem to break a sweat in this fight, so we should see him coming up shortly. The next fight I was shocked about. Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. I thought this was a matchup that was so clear by the UFC of, Song, we're going to give you a step up in competition that you probably have never seen before. And that's going to be good for you. And Sean, we're going to give you a stylistic matchup that benefits you because it's going to be a stand-up fight and you're going to be able to counter and you're going to be able to get in your flow state and do all of that. And when you win, we're going to rematch you against Petr Yan. A fight that you barely won. Fight, by the way, that I think he lost. A fight that you barely won, but it was a 3-round fight, and now it'll be for a title shot. Because I really think that in this year, the first year of the Paramount deal, you're not going to see deserving fights, i.e. like Arman Tsarukyan. You're going to see fights that get people to subscribe to Paramount Plus. The name recognition. And putting Sean in a title fight against Petr Yan will get people to subscribe. I love Merab. I do. And I think Merab is awesome. Personality-wise, fighting-wise, all of that. But Sean is a bigger draw. So I thought that this was pretty clear by the UFC. Like, we're going to put Sean in there. He's going to win, and then we can match up against Petr Yan. Because let's be real. Any other fighter has the run that Merab had and loses the belt, immediately gets a title shot. And right away, Dana White and the UFC were like, oh, we don't know. Okay, we know what you're doing. But I thought Sean lost this fight, and I had money on Sean. And I bring that up because I brought it up with Rose, and I thought Rose won that fight. I had money on Sean, and I thought he lost the fight. He had the same reaction to this fight that he had against Petr Yan. Can't believe I got away with one. All right, awesome, cool. Now, I will give him a lot of credit because he did say in the post-fight, Merab deserves a title shot, but if he doesn't get it, I want to be the next guy. That is admirable, truly. But I thought he lost it, and I thought he didn't look all that great in this one at all. I mean, the most telling thing for me is he's trained for, 2 years now for Merab? And when you train for Merab, you're training for one thing. You're training to avoid takedowns. He was getting taken down by Song Yadong. Easily, mind you. Like, he wasn't really putting up that much of a fight until the third round. Now, I thought he won the third round, but I thought the first 2 rounds went to Song. And I thought they were kind of clear. I was shocked when the judges read off the scorecard. I didn't think Sean ever got into that flow state. He didn't string together combinations. He did the normal stuff. Like, he moved pretty well. He was able to switch stances pretty well, but he also ate a lot of leg kicks. I thought Song looked really, really good in this one, and I think he got hosed. Hand up. It benefited me. I won money off of it, but I think he got hosed. At the end of the day, though, Sean O'Malley will be getting the next title shot. I'd be shocked if he doesn't. I thought he was very, very meh, though, for that record. And now we get to the main event, Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. Before the fight, said Justin Gaethje, I think, will win this one. I think there are levels to this. Paddy Pimblett, I'd underestimated up until this point of his UFC career. He had proved me wrong up until this point, but I also thought there was a giant step up in competition between the guys he's fought and Justin Gaethje. And you know what? There was a giant step up, and you saw it. You saw Paddy Pimblett's face change in this fight from, all right, this is fun, to, oh shit, this is different. Now, it was different for another reason, too. It was different because this was a weird fight for Justin Gaethje. This wasn't Trevor Whitman, Justin Gaethje. This was Michael Johnson, Justin Gaethje. This is, I'm throwing caution to the wind, and I'm putting my head down and swinging. For the majority of this fight, Justin Gaethje looked like a guy that had been overserved at the bar and wanted to take you outside. It was weird. He didn't land a leg kick, I think, till round 3. I was blown away by that. If you were to tell me before the fight, one guy's going to have like 40 leg kicks, and the other guy's going to have like 10, I would have been like, oh, Justin had 40. Nope, not really. Justin was headhunting for the majority of this fight. Granted, he was landed, but he was also eating a ton of shots, including leg kicks, which I did think hindered his ability in the later rounds. Like rounds 3, 4, and 5, especially round 3, I thought you saw a noticeable difference when he would go to step on that lead leg, and I thought he was definitely hurt by those leg kicks, and he wasn't checking them at all. But he went back to the well, to turning back the clock, to being the guy that would just like eat shots, but then give you 3 more and didn't really care about getting knocked out. Because of that, I wonder if the staph infection rumors were true, because he looked like a guy that was going in there to get Paddy Pimblett out as soon as humanly possible, and I wonder, did he actually have a staph infection? Was it what he said, an ingrown hair, or was it, I might be compromised in rounds 4 and 5, I might be running out of gas, I got to get this guy out of here. I can't have the normal, natural, the normal patient approach that I normally have under Trevor Whitman. No, I got to blitz, and he blitzed hard. He looked really, really good in this fight at times, but he also looked really bad in this fight, and that was the problem with Justin Gaethje when he first entered the UFC, because he didn't have the patience that Trevor Whitman had taught him. But at the end of the day, he wins the belt. Credit also to Paddy Pimblett. Like, the guy says Scousers don't get knocked out, and boy, Scousers don't get knocked out, because he got dropped plenty in this fight, and he got opened up, and his face was battered. But man, every time he got up and he gave it back, at no point did he look like he wanted out of there. I mean, the guy was a dog. He was a warrior in this fight. Also credit to him, because he gets a post-fight interview, and he mentions the whole mental health thing. That's always important, and I give him a lot of credit for that, because it needs to be said. It's not said enough, but it needs to be said. But I thought this was a fight where both guys came out on top. Like, if you had questions about Paddy Pimblett, which I did, you're exiting going like, damn, you know what? Like, hard not to like the guy. I mean, he faced adversity for the first time really in his career outside Jared Gordon, and he looked good. He looked really good in this fight. Justin Gaethje was too much for him. And that's fine, because Justin Gaethje is too much for a lot of people. So, thought it was a really, really good night for the UFC. Good night for the viewers, because we didn't have to pay $80. At one point, I was joking about how the Paramount deal was going to force Paramount stars into the crowd, and we're going to get the forced shot. Oh, here's Steven Dorff, the star of CSI Boise City. And we got that. And then, of course, Waldo Cortez Acosta's leaving, and there's a guy dressed in the Scream outfit behind him, and you're like, what is going on? That's weird. Scream advertisement. I was complaining on my live, and I stopped myself mid-complaint. I was like, I'm not paying $80 for this. Like, this is fine. I will say, amazingly, even though they started this card at 9 p.m., which kudos to you, I love that, they still found a way to have the main event start at midnight. Like, trash, guys. Like, you can speed it along. Final observation. Full transparency, this is the second time I've recorded this. The first time I thought I recorded it, I didn't. Embarrassing for me. Hit thumbs down. This is the second time I've recorded it, and I had to charge my phone. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching the post-fight. And you got Michael Bisping. You've got Chris Weidman. You've got Dominic Cruz. You've got this new girl, Kate Scott. Kate Scott was very hyped up by a lot of the MMA media. Ariel Helwani, one of them. But a lot of them. Ariel Helwani sticks in my head, but they all were like, this is amazing for the UFC. This is awesome. This can't be great, blah, blah, blah. This is, oh my God, incredible, blah, blah, blah. She's horrible. She can't get names right. And it screams Stephen A. Smith first ESPN card. when Stephen A. Smith didn't know a damn thing. Hey, at least he got names right. But he didn't know a damn thing, and it was forced. This isn't an anti-woman thing at all, because Laura Senko is incredible at her job. But put her here, please. I understand she's an analyst, but put Megan O'Leary, put Laura Senko, put somebody that has a clue of how to say these names. Because the way that this woman was overhyped by the UFC media, good Lord, I don't know if it's nerves or what, but she is not ready for this. Horrible. And I understand that UFC is a little bit of a niche sport. Niche sports are hardcore. She's going to get ripped apart on Twitter by people watching. But, like, you don't know Justin Gaethje's name? Umar Nurmagomedov? This is a horrible look. They probably should fix it. All right, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit thumbs up if you like this. Smash the thumbs up button if you thought it sucked. Let me know what you thought of this card and what's next to come. I will let you know. Probably only going to respond to channel members. You can support the channel by becoming a member, but I will prioritize those. I'll look every night to see if any of the members have commented on anything, and I will make sure to respond. I'll also check if I have any members, because let's be real. Like, this channel kind of just started. But yeah, if you want to support, become a channel member. But subscribing is cool too, you know, or thumbs up, thumbs down, as I said, all that shit. All right, I'm going to go now. Goodbye.